What's up? What's good? What's happening? And welcome to She Wants It All podcast. I go by Lou. If you are a new listener, thank you so much for checking out the podcast. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much for listening, and I appreciate you. On this podcast, we talk about a variety of different topics, but primarily we focus on the ups and downs of womanhood and the complex journey that womanhood entails. If that interests you or if that tickles your fancy, I hope that you continue listening, and I hope you enjoy. To start off, how are you doing? I hope that you are trying to stay safe. I hope that you are trying your best to stay sane during this time. It's a lot going on. A lot of people are afraid. A lot of people are angry. A lot of people are anxious. And I just hope that during this time that you're doing the best that you can to take care of yourself, to protect yourself, take care of your loved ones as well. Especially right now, the best thing we can do is not only take care of ourselves and look out for ourselves, but we have to look out for each other. We have to look out for each other. So, I hope that this podcast can shed some light, shed some joy in your life. Maybe help you relieve some of the fears that you're having right now. And I hope that you enjoy it. On the last episode, I believe we talked about your 20s. And I wanted to talk about your 30s. Now, granted, I just turned 30 last year. I'll be 31 this year. I know, right? I'll be 31 this year. And it's just, this decade is just starting for me. So it's not that I know what to expect, but I will say that I'm excited to see what this decade has for me. I'm excited to see what's coming. I feel very blessed and fortunate to even be able to see my 30s. In my 20s, we had a lot of losses. We lost family members. We've lost classmates, people you went to high school with, and it's things like that kind of change your mindset and make you realize what's really important. It changes your priorities in life. And I know for me, especially for my mid to later 20s, that shift that I was talking about from 25 to 30, that shift, it was all those things that I've experienced in my 20s, all those losses, all those heartbreaks, all those issues within my family, within, my personal life, within, within my marriage that shaped me to have that mindset to be where I am now. And I guess that's why I'm excited, or I'm happy to see what this decade has to bring. I know that it's not going to be happy times all the time. I know it's not going to be easy. I know that I'm going to have some failures sometimes. I know that there are going to be days that I'm going to cry. There are going to be days that I'm going to be praying and crying out to God. I know that that's a part of it. That's just a part of life. That's just a part of life that we all go through. But I'm just happy that the mindset that I have now, where I'm focusing on the things that matter most, at least to me. I'm focusing on the things and the people that matter most. And that's really what's helping me really look forward to what this decade is going to bring. And it's made me more self-conscious of realizing that I need to tell the people that I love them every day. I need to show them that I love them, because, it's not to be morbid. I'm not trying to be morbid or anything or negative, but, the older you get, the more you realize and the more that you appreciate life, the more that your eyes open up to the fact that we're all here living on this earth on borrowed time. It's just made me, change my priorities. It's made me think differently. And I don't know. It's just, I love where I am mentally right now. I love the space that I'm in. I love how I'm able to verbalize what I'm feeling. I love how I'm able to verbalize my hurts. I love how I'm able to verbalize and speak out my opinions. And that's something that I wasn't really able to do in my 20s. I was able to do it, but I was afraid to do it. You know, like I talked about the need to want to please people, the need to, especially your parents, the need to want to please people. And you feel like you're living for people, you're living for other people's opinions. And whether you're aware of that or not, it's like something that you just have to grow out of. It's something that you have to grow out of. It's something that you just learn as you get older. And I don't know, that's the best way I can put it. I don't even know how else to describe it, but I wish I had this mindset in my 20s. I feel like the older I got, the more vocal I've become. And just the more that I focus on making sure that I'm happy. You know, there's no point in trying to please other people and trying to do what other people want you to do if you're not happy. You're not living your life for other people. But again, I think that's something that just comes with age. And I'm loving it. I am loving it. You know, focusing and figuring out your priorities is just something that is going to shift in your life depending on where you are and what age you are. I know for me right now, I have a family, I have kids, I'm married, so that's always going to be at the top of my list. But at the same time, I always try to make time, make space for myself. It's hard. It is hard when you have a family. It is hard when you have little kids. It is hard when you are in a relationship. It's hard when you're married to make time for yourself. But it is so important. It is so imperative to have me time. Because it's just a way of taking care of yourself spiritually, emotionally. And I found that the more that I do that, the more that I'm an introvert. So being alone is how I recharge. Being alone is how I nourish my soul. Being alone is how I take care of myself, you know, physically and spiritually. So alone time is important, very important for me. And when I make time for that, it helps me to mentally keep it together for everybody else. It helps me to mentally keep it together for my husband, for my kids. You know, it puts me in a better space to be there for everybody else, if that makes any sense. Because if you're giving everybody a piece of you, you have to be able to give yourself you as well. And that has helped me to get my mind together, to get my mind right, and to stay focused on what's important, to stay focused on my priorities. Just like your 20s, your 30s, you're not going to have it all figured out sometimes either. Some people do. Some people, you know, they have it all figured out. They have the career, they have the family, they got the bags, they got it all. They got it all, child. They got it all. But not all of us have it figured out. And again, that's okay. The most important thing that I'm learning in life, and as I get older, is to continuously give myself grace. I'm human. I don't have it all figured out. I don't know all the answers. My mood changes every day. You know, the things that are certain in life is time, change, gravity, and not to be morbid, but you know, death. We're all gonna go sometime. And it's making me realize that you're not gonna have it all put together all the time, and you're not gonna have it all together in your 30s sometimes, and that's okay. And sometimes even in your 30s, you might have to step back, look at where you are, and reevaluate your life, and that's okay too. That's okay too. Some people, it takes them, some time to say, man, maybe that's not the career that's meant for me. Sometimes it takes a little self-reflection and just stepping back and looking into their lives and saying, okay, maybe that's not the best person for me. Maybe that's not the best relationship for me. And that's okay. It's completely okay. I think that sometimes we are our hardest critics. We're so hard on ourselves sometimes for not knowing what we know now. Now, giving yourself some grace is not an excuse to act reckless. Giving yourself some grace is not an excuse to go out there and act way below what your maturity level should be. We're not trying to do that. You don't want to go backwards. Giving yourself some grace is not an excuse for letting yourself go backwards. But it's just being able to learn, being able to grow, and being able to accept that you're human, and the best thing you can do is just learn what you want, learn what you need, and when you're able to have those things spelled out for you, being able to fulfill that, being able to verbalize that. Like you're gonna go through a lot of changes, and like I said, I'm definitely less apologetic than I used to be, especially in my 20s. I was always apologizing for something because I didn't do this way the person wanted it, or I didn't live my life the way this person wanted me to. I don't got time for that now. I don't. And even in relationships, you're a lot more conscious and a lot more aware of what your needs are and what your wants are. You can make a relationship work with or without a certain want. But if you have a need for something in a relationship and it's not being fulfilled, that can crush the whole foundation of it. And you become a lot more aware and a lot more serious about what your needs and wants are. And you, well, for me anyways, be able to differentiate between the two. Like, I need my husband to be honest with me. I need my husband to be loyal to me. Do I need him necessarily to put his dirty clothes in the hamper every day when he comes from work? Not necessarily. Some days he forgets. Some days I forget too. But he don't gotta know that. Some days I forget too, But it's more serious when he does it, So what? Some days he forgets to put his clothes in the laundry hamper. Is that necessarily something that is a deal breaker? No. But honesty and loyalty is. That's more of a want than a need. And you learn to give yourself grace, but you learn to give some people grace too. Especially in relationships. That's one thing I've learned. And there's a quote by Maya Angelou that says, forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you learned it. And I feel like that's one of the best examples of giving yourself grace. That's one of the best examples of realizing that you're not going to have it all put together all the time. You're not going to have it all figured out. We don't have all the answers majority of the time. And even when you think you know the answers, that's when you realize you don't know nothing at all, child. I've seen people make life changes in their 40s. I've seen people make life changes in their 50s. That's just life. There's going to be changes. There's going to be revelations. You just have to learn and grow from it. That's just life. To be quite honest, the only thing that bothers me with getting older is ageism. That bothers me. I hate getting on Twitter and seeing tweets like, oh my gosh, so-and-so is 32 years old, but she looked like she's 24. Your 30s is not old. I get it. You're 15. You're still waiting to get your permits. I get it. But 30 is not old, babe. It's not old. And 30 will be knocking on your door in no time soon. 30s is not old. 40s is not old. 50s is not old. I've seen 50-year-olds that look better than some of you 20-year-olds. Okay? That's not old. It's older than you, It's older than you, but it's not old. That's so annoying, especially when it comes to women. It's almost like society won't allow women to enjoy the beauty of aging. There is nothing wrong with aging. So the whole aging thing, like, I hate that people look at it as such a negative, especially when it comes to women. Are wrinkles annoying sometimes? Yeah, I can understand that, but we can't fight it. We can't stop it. You can slow the process a little bit, but it's gonna happen. It's so annoying. And then if you see what was that guy? But older men are sexy. Men with the salt and pepper hair and salt and pepper beard are sexy. Or the silver foxes are sexy. The silver grandpas are sexy. The sugar daddies, or you don't get that kind of reciprocation when it comes to women aging. And that's so annoying to me. It is so annoying. I'm hoping that as time passes, we kind of stray further away from that mindset, because it's so annoying. You're going to age. As long as you're living, you're going to age. Every day, you are getting older. Okay? I don't know if you're aware of that, but every day, you are getting older. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's beauty in that. Because not everybody gets a chance to wake up every day and see another day. Yeah, that's the only thing that really bothers me about getting older. But, kids will be kids, won't they? Darn kids. And then something else that I want to talk about. I knew about what manifestations were, but I'm kind of just now looking it up and, kind of trying to learn more about it. Okay, here's the deal. I always felt like manifestations had some kind of, churchy or spiritual reference behind it. And so I Googled it. I Googled it. And it said that, manifestations are speaking something, almost like speaking something into the atmosphere and, having that become a part of your reality. Almost speaking something into the atmosphere or like into the spiritual realm or something, and having that manifest into your physical world. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's almost like, the proverbs of life and death are in the power of the tongue. So it's like it makes sense now. It makes sense, and it's very intriguing to me. So I might have to look up some more things about manifestation. Yeah, so I went onto lawofattraction.com, and they had certain steps when it came to manifestations. And the first step was to choose what you want to manifest. But it has to be plausible. You don't want to say, I want to lose 20 pounds by the end of the week. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's healthy. Is that possible though? I don't think that's possible. So you want to do something that is plausible, something that could be attainable in a certain amount of time. Something that makes sense. And then it said that, you want to get rid of things in your way, like negative thoughts. If you're going to speak something, if you're going to say something, if you're going to think something, make sure it is positive, like almost positive affirmations, especially in regards to something that you want to manifest. So that makes sense. And then you want to visualize what you want to manifest. That makes sense as well. And then you want to take action. That's where I was like, that makes sense. You can't just sit there and expect things to come to you if you're not putting in the work. Again, there's that spiritual, churchy connotation there. Faith without works is dead. See? You see? And then the next step is to recognize and appreciate. I forgot what that meant, but that was number 5. So I think it's very interesting. I'm probably gonna look up more into manifestations. I'm making my wig shift with it. Okay. Yeah, it does seem like it has a lot of spiritual and that it's basically based on spiritual beliefs. So that's kind of why I was thinking about it and kind of interested in learning more about it. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about manifestations is because the comedian, I don't know if she's classified as a comedian, as a social media comedian, as a socialite, I don't know. But, you know, she's a comedian that came up through social media, B. Simone. She just turned 30, I believe, this week or the week prior. I know she has a book coming out about manifestations. Now, she got her, you know, she built her brand through social media, which a lot of people are doing, you know, it makes sense. A lot of people are doing that right now. But she built her brand through social media, through making a lot of funny videos and things like that. She was on Wild 'N Out, you know, syndicated cable TV show. She was on that other TV show in VH1, the one with Little Kim and what's her name? The singer, I really like her. Little Kim, Maya, Pretty V was on there too. I like Pretty V too. And so she turned 30, and she wrote a book about manifestations, right? She wrote a book about manifestations. She has millions of, you know, followers on social media. And she was trending either last week or a couple days ago. She was trending on social media because she took a picture with the baby. Now, she took a picture with the baby, and I know that she's had a crush on the baby. Am I saying his name right? The baby? Is it the baby? The baby? The baby, right? The baby. I'm saying his name right. It's not the baby or the, it's not the baby or the baby. It's the baby, the baby. So she took a picture with the baby, and I know she's had a crush on him. She's been posting pictures of him. I think she bought like a life-size, you know, cutout board of him. So she was trending on Twitter because she took a picture with the baby. And to be quite honest, I don't know if it's because I'm getting old, but I was like, that's why y'all want to buy that book. Not because she built her brand from the ground up. Not because she's been on how many syndicated TV shows. Not because she has how many millions of followers on social media. Not because she has how many multiple streams of income. Not because she has multiple businesses. Not because she's an author. Y'all want to buy her book because of the baby. No offense to Mr. The Baby. I have no problem with him. You know, I got a problem with you, bro. I got a problem with you. But that's why y'all want to buy her book, because of the baby, because of a man. I really hope y'all not out here trying to manifest, just manifest men. I really hope y'all not out here just trying to manifest men when there's so much more blessings out there. There's so much more out there for you besides men. And y'all gotta realize that even if they were to be together, even if they were to have something, everything has its price. And I'm learning that too. Everything has its price. And even if they, you know, people were speculating that they were together, even if they were together, she would be with that man and everything that comes with him, all the baggage that comes with him, all the hurt that comes with him, you know, maybe even all the drama that comes with him. You gotta think about that stuff too. Everything has its price. I just thought that was weird. That's why so many girls were saying now they're gonna buy the book because of that. Great marketing tactic though, by the both of them. Great marketing tactic. I know I saw some comments that were like, that's why y'all want to buy the book? Because I was like, I like his music though. I like Mr. The Baby. I like his music though. I like Mr. The Baby. You know, I can actually understand what he's saying in his raps. I like that. So that bop song was a bop. Yeah. I just thought it was weird that because she took a picture with with that one man, that's what a lot of people, that's what drove a lot of people to try to want to get her book, and not everything else that she's accomplished. As a woman, you shouldn't have to have a man or get a man to feel validated. But I guess that's just me. For me, manifest me some money, manifest me some bags. You know what I'm saying? Manifest me my student loans being paid in full with a check that I ain't even got to write. You know what I'm saying? Manifest me my mortgage being paid off in full so I can rent out my house and buy another house. Manifest me being able to set up my kids' college fund by the time they 5, so they ain't got to worry about nothing. Manifest that for me. Manifest me a 401k that's popping, you know what I'm saying? Manifest me some stocks. Manifest me some stocks. Manifest me some Roth IRAs. Like, that's what I want to manifest. That's what I'm trying to manifest. That's what I'm trying to manifest, man. Bruh. That's what I'm trying to manifest. But again, you know, that's just me. That's just me. But yeah, congratulations to her for doing that. $1 million by the time you're 30, that's a huge accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment. Some people will never get to see $1 million a day in their life. I know I'm gonna see it though. Lots and lots and lots of millions. I'm gonna see it though. But you know, some people don't get to see that in their life. And for her to achieve that at such a young age, because 30 is young, at such a young age, that's a huge accomplishment. So kudos to her, working her butt off, number one. Speaking things to the atmosphere, of course, but for working her butt off. I like B Simone. I like Pretty B too. I like K-Way too. I like K-Way. Yeah. I love Lala Milan. I love Lala Milan too. But yeah, kudos to her for that. That's inspirational. And should be for a lot of young girls. I mean, I think I might check out her book. I have a lot of books that I'm reading right now, but the manifestations, I'm kind of interested in that. I'm still a spiritual person, you know, God is my everything. And I think she's a spiritual person too. I think these ones I think she has a church background too. I'm definitely into it. Definitely interested in it. And I know that when it comes to manifestations, that there's a saying that there's no such thing as a coincidence. Let that sink in for a little bit. So that's what I really wanted to talk about today. I hope that this episode was enjoyable for you. I hope that, you know, it gave you some light in this, you know, hard time that a lot of us are going through. And I wanted to leave with this quote that I found. This quote by Stephen Richards. And it says, success will be in your reach when you start reaching out for it. And I know during this time, a lot of us are finding ourselves in situations that we didn't predict that we'd be in. We're finding ourselves in being at home with people that annoy us. We're finding ourselves, you know, a lot of us introverts, as much as we don't like going outside, we want to go out, we want to go outside, we want to be invited. We miss being invited to places, even though we knew we're not going to go, even though we know we ain't going nowhere. We miss being invited, you know? So I know that's hard for a lot of people, but this is when you let your creativity flow, try to find things to take care of yourself mentally, try to find things to explore that side of yourself that you haven't been able to explore in years, you know, and it's just a way of keeping your sanity. It's human nature to want to do the things that you're being prohibited to do. You know, they don't want us to go outside a lot. They want us to social distance as much as we can. And it's human nature to say, okay, this is this is getting to be a lot right now. When can we go outside? When can I smell fresh air again? When can I get invited to a party and not show up? You know, so just do what you can to try to get through it, and hopefully this will be over soon. It's hard for a lot of people, and you know, for those that are affected directly or indirectly, I pray for safety over you, your family, and your loved ones. And we're just gonna try to get through this. I know the silver lining is out there. The silver lining is out there. It's out there. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna get through it. Thank you so much for listening or watching the podcast, and I hope to see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.